Holy crap, that's such a hit.
So they released their top 10 offenses. Colorado's number 8.
This moment in sports history will be remembered as one of the better fights, man. Like,
put the cherry on top, they played Austria today. Guess the score of that game? 32-25 to not medal for bronze.
Hello and welcome to Bros in the Bleachers podcast, episode 19. Thank you guys for everybody tuning in. Thank you for the 2 new subscribers, a few new subscribers on our Twitter. Shout out to Liberty fans. Quentin and Cool, you may not have liked our post, but that's okay. We support your fans. So if any Liberty fans, Liberty Flames on the show today, shout out to you guys. So comment if you're Liberty fans. So yeah, how are we feeling all today, guys?
hey, early morning pod, baby, but we're here, we're ready. We're already locked in on the Jacksonville game at 6:30 in the morning.
That's right. We are
OJ, baby, lock in.
We're fully loaded this morning.
We suffered some sad losses in baseball last night, but we're here.
I know.
Or we might, Josh.
We unfortunately won't be doing any NFL. It's strictly college today. But if obviously if there are any NFL points that need to be made, they'll be made quickly and briefly. But strictly college football. So let's get right into it. Another monumentous week for college football. For at least for some games. And what I thought was originally my third pick for game of the year, Georgia versus Texas at night, to what theme was going to be Georgia was going to blow out Texas. Texas kind of came back, but it wasn't enough. What did you guys think of the game?
I think there's hot and cold.
I loved it when the
Georgia,
fans.
Josh, what did you think about the game?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that Georgia, they're just so hot and cold sometimes. You don't know what Georgia team you're gonna get. Like either they're locking it down and like Beck's firing it off, or it's just like a little bit of self-destruct mode.
Did you guys see the student section overturn that PI call?
Dude, absolute insanity.
Wild.
Imagine being a referee and being pressured that much because you got beer cans thrown at you. I think that's all you have to do is throw a bunch of beer cans onto the field, and then you'll get your penalty reversed.
I will say that that's a pretty good way of getting somebody's opinion at you is when you start throwing metal objects that typically sways their opinion a little bit. I'll tell you that.
I thought we were gonna start a Malice in the Palace part 2.
Hey man, Philly fans do it, and everybody goes to prison. College fans do it, and it's a we thing. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I call it
that way.
Josh, that's why it's the SEC. It just means more.
Exactly. There's just a couple more miles per hour on those beers.
But just for this game in general, I'm so out on Carson Beck. Anybody who's still in on Carson Beck, I don't know how you are. He's just not good. He's so bad. He should have thrown 5 picks that game. 5. But it was just three, and under 150 yards. At least that's what it was. Absolutely.
Guys, on Twitter, someone compared Beck's face to Timmy from South Park.
Jesus.
Fuck.
And I can't unsee it. I'm sorry.
Well, he sure plays like him at some points. That's for sure.
And I didn't get the weird switch into Arch Manning thing that they did. Was that like did he get hurt, or was that just him?
He got licked again, and I feel like that's been the story kind of this year from Texas, is that obviously they've been a great team prior to this game, and I think that even going at some points of the game they kind of still showed their big flash of being that number 1 team. But man, if your top guy when Ewers just keeps getting drilled like that, I mean, we've seen it with other teams, right? Like, again, not to throw Utah under the bus like we do every week, but like when they have their star quarterback getting licked like that, he ends up missing a lot of time and your team momentum completely changes. Again, Arch is a great prospect, and I think that we're all excited to see him get into games, but is he ready for it? Is he ready for it, especially when he's playing against Georgia, right? I don't know. I think it was too big of a stage for him to be able to jump into, but Quinn Ewers getting licked, man. I feel like it's just a constant story over the last like 3-4 weeks,
Yeah, because that was like, what did they do? Was it the team in the NFL that started like Drake May or whatever, and they did it like at the beginning of like the worst stretch of defenses? Like that's where it's like with Arch Manning, it's like don't throw him out there. Be careful.
Right, help him out a little bit.
Well, Quinn Ewers just died again. Well, might as well send out the smaller one.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers got sacked at least 5 times, and I was quite surprised because that Texas O-line's huge. All their starting O-line are over 300 pounds. So for college too, not like some 280-pound center in the middle. all 300-pound Bevos trying to block him, but not good enough with the Georgia defense coming down their throat. But yeah, what I thought could have been a better game should have been a better game, but it was not. And then we go on to UCF versus Iowa State. Did any of you guys see that game?
That one didn't make the card, Drew, but fill me in, brother.
I was paying attention.
There's magic in Ames that night.
Yeah, that quarterback, Rocco, I believe his name is Rocco
Beck.
Yeah, that dude has some moxie to him. He wasn't too good most of the game, but he had at least 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground. Yeah, UCF's quarterback change. They had over 350 rushing yards.
He's good.
I mean, he can't throw worth a damn, but he sure can run that ball.
He can run.
Yeah, I get better than having KJ Jefferson throw 2 picks and under 100 yards for the game. But yeah, incredible comeback. And UCF had a return pick 6, and then they had a 1 call back. Guy celebrated too early, and the ball came before the end zone, so it didn't count. So
dude,
why
does that keep happening?
I feel like it's got to be adrenaline.
To just run the ball across.
Too hard.
Deshaun Jackson starting trends, baby.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? The pioneer of letting the football go before the pylon.
And this, like, not to change the subject, but like this, I mean, this UFC like rushing attack is just like basically them being like, God, I've seen what you've done to Army. Can you give us just a little bit of that?
Oh,
and yeah, they didn't have enough of it.
I'm sure Army will be definitely brought up by someone, not calling out names.
Another
guys. Army Navy this year is going to be insane.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yep.
But Josh, what games did you have this week?
Well. I had a beautiful little viewing for the Western Kentucky game. Which I know we don't often touch on some of these earlier games, but
best uniform and logo,
best helmets in the country. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh my God, they really put on. I mean, I think they just had the eyeballs for this one, which was it just looked like a bunch of red grimaces running around. It was very fun. But I mean, the game was really a lot closer than what it seemed. Both teams had 40 yards of total offense, 400 yards, not 40 of total offense. Turnover and like basically equal time of possession. And we obviously settled. We just settled it there. But this is a pro Hilltoppers pod, and that's pretty clear. Special shout out though to Elijah Young, almost a bell cow. Well, kind of a bell cow with hands too. 23 carries, 97 yards, and then 3 receptions for 61 yards and a TD. Yeah, he was crazy. He's elite. And they're a lot of fun to watch, and they're really shaking it up right now in the conference. They're undefeated.
Dude, hot take. The WKU mascot might be a top 5 mascot in all of sports. I mean that his mannerisms, like his like fan interaction, like I mentioned I didn't watch this game in particular, but as soon as you mentioned the eyes on the helmet thing, it just brings me back to all of the different fan shots. He's got like a Benny the Bull type of like character impression where like he'll mess around with the fans. It's pretty cool. So again, pro Hilltoppers pod for sure.
There's such a dirty admission here where like I just noticed like this week that there's a hand in their logo like holding like the red thing. I've been betting on this team for probably like 2 years straight, and I just noticed that.
Yeah, I feel like the Hilltopper mascot should definitely get a lot of love on the same level as like Puddles the duck, Bevo, what other mascots you might have. Ugga. Yeah, those kind of, not the live mascots, but just the actual mascot suits. show the Hilltoppers some love. Josh, does this lead us into your Maction rundown?
I am so down to Mac the down. And this time we're tiering it, man. We got our tiers established. I got them written down. And so that'll start us off with tier 1, which is in a sole possession by Western Michigan. I took Buffalo after their performance last week, and so I was kind of paying attention to this game. It was an awesome shootout. But yeah, they're the only team right now that's 3-0 in the MAC, and that gets us into our tier 2, which right now is occupied by Buffalo, Toledo, and Miami of Ohio. Toledo with a cheeky, nice little win there. nothing much more than that's what we expect from them. Especially me, I'm heavy in on them Rockets. And yeah, it was a good win for them against Northern Illinois, which definitely bumps them down a tier. As we talked, they had that big upset against Notre Dame. Let's try to get back to that. But yeah, to finish out that tier 2, that we're talking about Miami of Ohio, who's had a commanding victory over Ohio, which knocks them out. Ohio University. A lot of Ohio's. It's very confusing. A lot of Michigans. There's an Eastern Michigan, a Western Michigan, a Central Michigan. Oh my God, we're territory commanded.
We should start South Michigan University.
Exactly. There's probably already like 3 South Michigans.
Institute Technology.
And so yeah, tier 3 then that occupies us with Ohio University we just talked about, Northern Illinois we just talked about, and Central Michigan, who we have not spoken a lot about, but their explosion noises, just an absolute another shootout against Eastern Michigan, which I think I might have forgotten to put them in the tiers, but they're a tier 2 team. They're elite. They're almost there. A couple more weeks and they might have some real good upsets against some of these tier 1s, or just the tier 1, I guess, which is Western Michigan. And then tier 4, Ball State, Bowling Green. This is the juicy win tier. Like, these teams are probably going to get beat up a little. They might shake it up. They might not. And then tier 5, literal tiers, Kent State, more like Kent State. That's all we got.
Kent State.
I love how you're talking about juicy matchups in tier 4 of the MAC.
I'm saying it's the juicy meals. It's like, that is where the that's where the turkey's gonna get cooked and it's gonna be
so good. Hey Josh, I gotta ask, with any of these MAC schools, like obviously we saw was it Northern Illinois or was it Miami of Ohio, or maybe both, that were ranked at some point this year?
Northern Illinois thought.
Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Do you think that any of these other MAC schools, like if they really put together a couple of these games, like they're cracking like top 25, or again, like is the MAC just the MAC and we don't, that's larger aspirations that we really need to be thinking about?
They all have at least 2 losses in this conference.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. And it'll be late in the year, because all of those losses are
right.
The teams that are gonna book them, because if you look at somebody like Toledo, I think they have their one in conference win. Western Michigan has 3 losses, and I'm pretty sure one of those was like to like a Sun Belt team or something like that.
So no.
So I mean, like late in the year, if Toledo wins out the rest of it, like I could see them being like a sneaky 24 or 25.
Right.
But yeah, you're going to see so many of these teams get some fun, interesting bowl game matchups, and who shows up, who doesn't, whatever. But yeah, they're going to be fun to watch towards the end of the year when it just becomes a devouring match amongst them.
I would love nothing more for the winner of the MAC to have like 4 or 5 losses and then go into like a discount tire bowl and like be South Carolina or somebody. That'd be perfect.
I could see it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially with how like bowl games are now, where you're kind of like, I mean, it's the wildest card of wild card betting, because you don't know really who's you suspect somebody's gonna play, and you're just like, I don't know, maybe I'll take the lesser school at plus 4.5 and see what happens. But yeah, that concludes it.
Absolutely. We'll go to Jake. Jake, what games did you have this week?
Well, guys, I don't even know how to bring up this topic, but the first thing I'll lead off with is I'm a big fan of the morning games. And the night before, my roommate and I, we were having a few libations, and we were talking through. We were actually found out that our TV has a free TV, and we were watching a little bit of Degrassi, the New Age. If anybody watches that, again, early 2000s, 90s cut, but it is what it is. But long story short, we were watching it. It's a show about Canada. We were basically like, all right, what if we just parlayed every game at 9 a.m. based on only their location to Canada, like how close, like doesn't matter whether they're a good team, bad team, whatever it is. So we took a bunch of really dog teams at the 9 a.m. morning. We took Coastal Carolina, Virginia, Louisville, Cincinnati, Rutgers, Wisconsin, UConn, Army, Mizzou, and Indiana. Went 10 for 10 on a teaser only because of their location to Canada. So I'll have Drew throw up the Degrassi parlay teaser here. Just had to throw that out there. I mean, it was
just a map of Canada for the degenerates too. It's up north.
Hey, yeah, just let them know. But had to throw that in there. And one of the games that I mentioned in there, and one of the ones that Drew mentioned earlier, is of course Eastern Carolina at Army. And Army covered the 17.5 points. That it was kind of gross coming in, but I feel like all Army fans at this point, if they've listened to this pod, they know that we're here for the ride. 45-28 victory. Bryson Daly needs to be in the Heisman conversation, guys. This is just me in my little high top chair, just being like, hey, we need this. but 6 touchdowns. He had in an opportunity where this season he is, the Army quarterback. He's not going to be throwing all too much. He hasn't thrown an interception. He is 7 passing touchdowns, 629 yards, and also has not been sacked.
That helps.
He hasn't been sacked. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that, like the guy.
O-line gets some push, baby.
Yeah, what? And Army is undefeated and ranked for the first time, so it'll be exciting to see what we've got. But did you guys check into that game? What are you guys thinking about our service academy?
What did you say they covered?
They covered 17 and a half.
Oh yeah.
They didn't cover 17 and a half. They won by 17.
Oh, you're right. Wow. I can't do math.
16 and a half.
It might have been 16 and a half. I don't know. Okay. All I know is I hit mine. I might have typed that in wrong. But anyways.
Yeah, because they screwed on the pick 'em because Eastern Carolina had some bullshit second half touchdowns, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, Army Armed Services. Heck yeah. Sorry to poke a pin.
Yeah, true. No, hey, you're good. Honestly, to Josh's point, the Eastern Carolina logo is definitely slept on too. The whole little like purple bull pirate thing.
Oh,
they got a good party school aesthetic. Right. But the main person I already highlighted, but just Bryson Daly's performance in this game, 31 carries, 171 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Insane. He's gross, dude. And I will tell you that as someone who's been watching a ton of Army football, I actually put a little bit of a sprinkle on Kanye Udo, who's their just main running back to get an anytime touchdown. And Bryson Daly stole every single touchdown from him. So thanks, Bryson.
Vulture.
Appreciate it. We love you on the pod, but you killed my gambling slip this week, man. Definitely hurt a little bit. The other game that I was keyed in on, and again, it's kind of become a theme on this podcast that Jake does not like Vatek and Jake does not like Mizzou, but Mizzou might be back. Okay.
Oh, and come on.
Yeah. I know. Listen.
Auburn is sneaky 0-4 in the SEC.
Dude, Auburn is bad. And Mizzou just found a way to be able to claw back. The main thing that I want to take a minute on this podcast to be able to talk about. Obviously, earlier in the year, we talked about overrated quarterbacks. Brady Cook was on my list.
You had the overrated bowl. It was the overrated bowl.
Exactly. Thank you. Both quarterbacks awful. But best part about it is that I think that this really shifted my perspective on Brady Cook a little bit. The stats weren't necessarily good in the game, but came down with an early injury. It looked really gross. Actually went to the hospital, got an MRI an hour and a half later, then came back into the game, and Missouri ends up winning because of his efforts. So just showed
wild.
You know what I mean?
That.
I've never heard of that either. And the interview that he gave at the end of the game, I don't want to do justice to it. Drew, if you clip it at some point, maybe like pew. But I have it linked in. And anyways, he's basically just saying that, I've only got a handful of games to play here at Mizzou and in front of the stadium again. Like, I will give my body on the line for Mizzou, and clawed back to win 21-17. Late touchdown, 46 seconds left, really just sealed the game. So again, Mizzou might be, suffering a little bit. I like to think. I feel like they had a lot of juice going into the season, and maybe it's kind of died down a little bit, but still staying in the top 10. And I don't think that this is a win that gets you even further where you are. Because again, to Josh's point, Auburn is poo-poo. They are 0-4 in the SEC. They're no bueno. So, yeah, they could be the pumpkin of the year right now at this point. But we're excited to see Mizzou kind of crawl back a little bit.
Absolutely. It's cold.
See, it seems like that just proves that college football is better than the NFL.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Jake, any more games that you had?
No, the last one I really wanted to highlight, it was a late game last night, UNLV at Oregon State. Again, I think the main reason why I was highlighting that one is because, one, late night games on a Saturday. If you've ever lost some money during the middle of the day, that might be a way where you crawl back a little bit. So I was looking at UNLV, but I've been locked in on UNLV ever since this whole Matthew Sluka NIL piece to now shift to Haj Malik Williams. They have been on fire, man, and they win this game 33-25 simply because of Haj Malik Williams.
Look who they play next week.
I know they have
it's gonna be a huge game.
Big test next week for both teams for sure. But HMW put up 15-27 passing, 196 yards, a touchdown and an interception, but also ran 13 carries, 65 yards with 2 touchdowns. So he's been the motor of that offense. But cool part about UNLV is, again, I'm not going to put them nearly as what I think the best 3-way team in college football is still Kansas State personally. But when you talk about a team that's close to that, I think that UNLV plays really good defense. They've got a solid special teams. Like sometimes it's spotty, and I think that Oregon State is a better team than people probably put down on paper. But I don't know. I'm big on UNLV. I want to see how they play for the rest of the year. Obviously, Josh, I think that I'm hoping that Boise actually probably puts it to them a little bit because I really want to see Boise just continue to rise up the ranks. But
I mean, that's how it's been the last couple of years. We went to the game. We went to the Mountain West Championship game last year,
right.
and I was kind of nervous going into that because I really had not watched any of UNLV, and then it was about a quarter in, and you're like, oh, this UNLV team's about to get dusted, and then they got dusted, and it was like, okay, so
yeah, there's no doubt about it. This will be their biggest test of the year, but I think that this is a really big test for Boise State too, man. Like if they come out and they put up a molly-whopping like 30-point victory, like that is going to be okay. We've really got to put this team, higher and higher and higher, and really put them in playoff watch now. If UNLV wins this game, they could be back in the top 25. That's my opinion.
Yep.
I think
where is this game? Is it Boise or Vegas?
Yeah, it's in Vegas. So yeah, so it'll be pretty interesting to see because I think it'll be another comparison point, particularly from the Boise State side, just to put it up next to that Oregon loss because that's a quality loss, obviously, and it continues to be. If they win by a good heavy margin, then you're just like, okay, yeah, this is a for real team. If it gets a bit muddy, then you're kind of like, all right, maybe we gotta take a couple looks here. But I think still, yeah, it'll be a fun one to add up for when I think the real rankings start next week, don't they?
I think that's how it works, right? It's like 7 or 8 weeks in.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so fun stuff ahead.
Absolutely. And that'll lead us to Matt. Last but not least, what games did you see through this week?
Boys, I thought I had too many drinks, but apparently not when I saw the scoreboard right. Indiana put up 56 yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you guys believe that?
Dude, they're gross.
So,
who's your daddy?
I think it's time we start looking at Indiana as legit. So, this was the Hoosiers' biggest Big Ten margin win in program history. The last time that Indiana has won 7 straight games was back in the 1960s. So they're led by their quarterback Curtis Rourke. He's a transfer from Ohio U. Shout out your Maxon, Josh.
Heck yeah.
And he brought a couple players with him. I mean, this team's good. Rourke did leave the game in the second half due to a thumb injury. They say it's not a big deal. It's precautionary. Backup came in, threw 2 touchdowns. Nebraska coming into this game, they were the only team in the country to not have a lot of rushing TD this entire season. And then they allowed 5 rushing touchdowns yesterday.
Right.
So Indiana, I think that game, looking at their schedule, I think they had Michigan, Illinois, and then Ohio State.
They have Washington at home. They go to East Lansing to face Michigan State. They have Michigan at home, and then they're bye, and then the big Ohio State game.
Yeah. So they could be rolling here,
matchup against Purdue.
rolling into here. They could be coming into here in Columbus undefeated, which would be wild. So
be insane.
I think it's time. We start taking Indiana seriously. They look good. So, I mean, Nebraska, it's Nebraska, but Nebraska's not a slouch either. They're better this year than they have been in recent years. But yeah, good performance by Indiana.
Yeah.
And then Miami, Louisville. So great high scoring games. You bet the over, you probably won some money. Miami won 52-45. Guys, Cam Ward, he's way better than last year. Coming into the season, I think.
Yeah, you were a hater. You're a hater.
I was a hater. I wasn't that impressed. I think he's firmly in the Heisman race. He threw for 319 yards, 4 TDs yesterday. Damian Martinez, the star running back from Oregon State last year, he ran for 12 for 89, touchdown late in the game to pretty much clinch it for Miami. Miami and Clemson, I think, is the battle for the ACC. But yeah, this might not be a fluke year for Miami like it has been every year since they've been.
It's the first time they're 7-0.
2002, 2003.
First time they're 7-0 since 2017, or undefeated rather.
I'd be careful with the flukier stuff because that defense has problems.
Yeah.
But Cam Ward, if Cam Ward continues to out excellent whatever quarterbacks on the other side of him, then
yeah.
that was a stock up
Louisville
game for him.
Louisville did win the uniform game though yesterday. Louisville's uniforms are amazing. I think
So
Drew,
nice.
when we ranked top uniforms in college, I think I had Louisville. Whatever they roll out is sick. But unfortunately, that doesn't win them the game. So I should CC Oregon in that message. So,
Jake, are we gonna get a Ja'Cory Brooks stroke off here?
Fuck yeah, we are, Drew. Let's get it, baby. I'll pull up the stats right now, but I was also watching that game, and as someone that was again keyed in on specifically him as a player, he didn't get used at all in the first half. He didn't get one catch the entire first half. And again, for a team that if you watch them week over week, he's been really dialed in on that. I'm pulling up the stats right now. Give me one.
He had 6 receptions for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
There we go. Yeah, and both of those touchdowns came late. I want to say one of them came in the third, the other one came in the fourth, or they were both early. One was early in the fourth, one was later. Long story short, I think that this Miami team, to Josh's point, it does have flaws. Like it is going to be one of those teams where if they continue to, put up huge point totals, they kind of remind me of the Bengals, if I'm not going to lie, where it's one of those teams where they're able to, if they can put up 50 something points, they're going to win the game. But if they don't put up 50 something points at some point, it's going to get a little bit chalky. And Louisville's not a team to be able to like shake your fist at. Like they were making it competitive the whole way. I mentioned the Degrassi teaser parlay. We got them all the way up to 15 and we got them only up by a point. You know what I mean? So again, it was a little bit of a closer game than I think that a lot of people were expecting.
And you want to be careful.
Louisville's
next
defense has been
FSU. That's a letdown spot right there.
Yeah.
If you're Miami, you're everything's perfect, and then you roll in and you lose. Well, I guess they roll in. And
Can you
lose
imagine?
At home against FSU?
Bros in the bleachers guarantee they're not losing to FSU. Not happening. Not happening. All
right, Josh, I have a question for you.
I'm down.
If Toledo played Florida State right now, who wins that game?
Oh, probably.
And neutral
probably
site.
Toledo.
Yeah,
probably Toledo.
I think so too.
Oh my God, FSU, man. They're sad. It's just a sad team.
We're gonna transition to another sad, pathetic team in the University of Arizona. Sure, everybody wants to hear about it. Absolutely getting shellacked by Colorado by like 30 plus points. And
guys, apparently the fans were booing the team yesterday.
I have no doubt in that. It's homecoming, which let's talk about that for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Today is October 20th. How the hell is it homecoming? Isn't homecoming like much later in the year? Like it felt like it was like
it's usually around this. Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt
it was like
it
wasn't
didn't
like a
feel
weekend
right.
after Parents Weekend, which Parents Weekend was always around my birthday. So
I don't know. Maybe that was just me, but I did not feel like we were watching the right team. It felt like we just got fucking shadured left, right, and centered, and it was
lacking back in from September.
Yeah,
guys, the amount of injuries that this team is accumulating is insane. I think I'm completely out on Brandon. Every press conference, he's like, "This is just my fault. We have to figure it out." Well, nothing changes, and with the talent that we have in offense, and only to put up 7 against a better Colorado defense than last year, but by no means elite, is insane. So
our O-line looks like absolute trash. And like if you got nothing,
it doesn't make sense. We have 4 or 5 starters back. Like it's not like they forgot to play football, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, once you're watching the team and the run game's not even working, then you're just like, oh, okay, the O-line's done. Like it's like that's the game. Like you might as well just turn it off, which I kind of passed out at the second half of it.
I did turn it off.
Yeah. I'm beginning to wonder if Fafita transfers after this year. I think unless there's some mega hire at OC.
Maybe
I don't know if he transfers though. I think he's pretty committed to U of A, but I think it'll get tough for him, especially with probably McMillan being drafted. I would assume this year
he's top 5 on draft boards right now. He's gone for sure.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Guys,
I do have some breaking news.
Ooh,
live right now. Just announced. Guess where game day is heading next week?
Arizona.
Bloomington, Indiana. Washington,
sense.
Indiana.
Oh, it's gonna
That's
be
good.
chef's kiss watching Jet Fish get his fucking face caved in by
Lee. Let's go.
I love it.
I put Indiana favored by 10.5. Let's go.
Okay.
They didn't want to come to Vegas for Boise State. UNLV.
Damn it.
They're afraid of Ben at the tables, man.
Ugh, yeah, that
Be cooler
should
if they did.
be fun, but yeah, Arizona not looking good, not looking great. We have West Virginia, UCF, our bye, Houston, TCU, Arizona
mounted.
State. Yeah,
we're not making a bowl.
I mean, it's shaping up to be a year though, where everything's going to be trash, and then ASU is going to roll in, and we're going to fucking make them eat dirt because that's normally how that mashup goes. Like if the worst team comes in, it just smashes teeth in, except for I guess last year.
I was gonna say I don't know, dude. This Cam Scatterbo guy he had a run.
He's legit.
He had a near goal line run against Cincy yesterday where he literally trucked 4 people in a span of 10 yards. And and the last one where he lowers the hit, you see the middle linebacker go back and he's just like, uh-oh. And it was a tough day.
Yeah, Jacob Manu with that matchup comes to be Jacob Manu has his hands full.
Yeah, might.
But we'll wait for that and a later date in November. But that'll wrap up our college football games of the week. And that leads us to Bell Cow, baby. Bell Cow of the week. What does a Bell Cow might have you? We're going to tweak a little bit. Bell Cow is at least 15 carries, over 100 yards, and 1 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, Macho Man. Bell Cow Savage. Yeah, uh-huh. My Bell Cow of the week. Rocky Top the cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah. Dylan Sampson at the University of Tennessee. 26 carries. 139 yards. Yeah. 2 touchdowns coming on the ground. Yeah. Bulldozing goal line touchdowns. Pater. Oh, yeah. Jake, Bell Cow of the week. Go.
Alrighty, everybody. My Bell Cow of the week comes from Thursday night college football. AJ Turner out of Marshall. We love you. You thundered that herd. 15 carries, 177 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, averaging over 10 yards a carry, and has got them hands. 1 reception, 30 yards, touchdown, 88-yard touchdown to seal the game as well against Georgia State. AJ Turner, you're the Bell Cow, baby.
Ooh, yeah. Josh, let me hear your Bell Cow of the week. Oh, man.
For my Bell Cow, we're checking in on good old El Paso, Texas, with UTEP's owner Javon Jackson. 26 carries, 148 yards, and a rushing TD, accompanied by hooves, hands, doesn't matter. 1 reception, 22 yards, and another TD. They blow out the Panthers by a steady, nice 9 points. Yeah, we love it.
Bell Cow of the week. Give me some of that, Matt. Bell Cow of the week. Ooh, yeah.
My Bell Cow of the week. UCF QB Ja'Cory Brown. Can't throw, but the boy can run. 13 for 154 and 2 TDs.
Ooh, yeah, we'll count 2 pass attempts as a carry. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. Bell Cow of the week, and that'll wrap it up. Yeah. Transferring on from Bell Cow of the week, we go to Pumpkin of the week. It's spooky season, spooky, full moons, werewolves, pumpkins, skeletons, you name it. So who turned into a pumpkin this week? Who choked? Who blew it? Let's go into my pumpkin of the week. Nashville Predators, NHL season has started. 0-5 to start the season. Absolute pumpkin. And that also brings me to UC Saros, their starting goalie that they signed in the offseason for 8 years at $7.6 million. One expensive pumpkin, baby. He's allowing a 3.83 goals against average. Nashville Predators, you are my pumpkin of the week. Josh, your pumpkin of the week.
Jake and I went on a collab pumpkin. We got the big pumpkin, the pumpkin you can float down on a river in. And
the great pumpkin, some might say.
USC, which I'll let Jake take it away.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, USC, you are the pumpkin of all pumpkins, man. Again, we're now talking about 3 straight losses, and yes, these are close losses, and we know that you're trying, man. We know that it's hard to get those wins, but at the end of the day, you made the jump. You need to show the hell up. And again, it's either we got to start carving you and making you into a jack-o'-lantern, or we got to turn you into a pie, because you are a MFing pumpkin, brother. USC 4 losses on the season already, and we haven't even hit November. Tough.
I think USC as a pumpkin pie would taste pretty bad.
Oh yeah, no, they are a rotten pumpkin right now. But
there would be no actual pumpkin in it, just pumpkin spice.
Right. It's the great pumpkin, Matt Giapapa. Like, we have it.
Absolutely, Matt. What's your pumpkin of the week? Ooh.
All right, so my pumpkin of the week, Emmanuel Clase. Strong through the regular season, but then when the lights were brightest, blew it on Friday night. Sorry, Josh, but hey, good season at least.
I mean, it could have been the whole bullpen, because I think everybody got tagged a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking Hunter Gaddis was going to be an absolute hoss to close out that 10th, and just that was so because he was dealing the night before.
The only guy that really didn't get hit at all, he didn't surrender a hit, was Pedro Avila. Which, if you have ever seen a Pedro Avila meme, it's literally just him being like, "I'm just hungry for innings," because he's the guy that they'll throw in like if they need to get like 4, like he's their stretch guy. Oh man, great memeable man.
It was tough, man. I will tell you that Clase giving up 8 runs in the postseason and only 5 during the regular season is just the most insane stat that I've seen.
And I saw rumors that he might have been tipping on accident, which that kind of makes sense, because last night it was the continuation of just like, oh yeah, they couldn't hit his stuff. So
right. And I will tell you, and as a guy that used to pitch and not at like a high level or anything, but when you come in at the end of the game as a closer and you're facing a guy like Soto, you do not throw a high fastball. That is the number one pitch that you cannot give up and again, he hadn't thrown a high fastball that entire at bat. I was white knuckled into my couch because I was keyed in on what was going on. And it kind of, to your point, I didn't see anything about tipping directly, but it was scary when I was like, damn, that's just not the pitch that you throw right there. And he had him on his change, he had him on his slider, he had him on all of the other weird pitches that he's got. And it just, it's tough.
I mean, it was kind of the same in Detroit when we were watching that one game and he got tagged there, and I said that like the next game they will never see a breaking pitch again from him. And he came in, he just went gas. Yeah. And then he went gas last night and made it through pretty easy. So
absolutely sad Cleveland, but I'm sure you'll have more to touch on that later, Josh. But that'll wrap up Pumpkin of the Week. We move on to our current events, what we saw throughout the week, what was interesting. I'll start out first. The Washington Capitals, after starting 0-1, have now been 3-0 since the arrival of 2 pandas in the DC Smithsonian Zoo. Bao Li and King Bao are the new pandas, and the Washington Capitals are 3-0 since they been here. So thank you for the Bao Baos.
Hey,
collectively get a warm-up jersey.
Hopefully you guys get like some like Moo Dang the hippo like vibes, like hopefully it's that same kind of culture.
Right.
Dude, they live streamed the news, they live streamed the plane landing with the pandas on board. There is so much media attention on them.
So ridiculous.
We're a Panda Pro podcast here on the Bros and the Bleachers. We go on to my next MLB on Fox Instagram account as an S tier meme account. The Braves Dodger series. I'll try to get some links, but some of them are just so hilarious. When the NASCAR haulers make their arrival to Las Vegas Strip, they do their patented Las Vegas hauler down the Las Vegas Strip, showing the neon lights, honking the trailer horns. I always loved seeing those haulers roll in. Always thought it was sick.
Oh yeah, and I'll be there.
Ooh yeah, baby, horsepower. And then on my last two, the NFL trade deadline is November 5th at 4 p.m. Do you guys think if there's going to be any sellers or buyers? Who do you think is going to be moving to a different team? Any idea?
I think the Lions are buying. I think that the Aiden Hutchinson piece is way too big of a loss for them to not be able to go all in on something. I don't think they're going to go, I've been seeing a lot of rumors about like Max Crosby and them being, oh my God, that's going to be the best 2 defensive ends of the bit. No.
Everybody's an Eagle. Myles Garrett's an Eagle.
Yeah,
Max
exactly.
Crosby's an
Right,
Eagle.
100%.
Yep.
No, I think that the Lions are going to be buying big on somebody on defense. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be Hassan Riddick. I don't think it's going to be Max Crosby. I don't know who it's going to be
Hassan
directly.
just restructured his deal to short
Oh,
term
really?
with the Jets. Yeah, it just happened today. But
Oh, there
I'll
you
let you
go.
continue, Jake.
I mean, I think I was
No,
just real quick. I think I was telling Jake about. I don't know if I told you guys, but there is a thing in Hassan Reddick's contract that if he does get traded to an NFC East team, that third round pick that they traded for becomes a second. So that's something to be aware of.
all right. Well, we'll be on watch for that. Frankly, I don't know if there's going to be another team that's going all in because I really think that the Lions have everything on paper to be able to go really deep. So I think they should be the team that does it. I wouldn't be shocked if a team like Minnesota went, another step further just because they have so much momentum going right now. But frankly, that I don't feel like that ownership group really does a huge job around like the deadline to be able to get like these kind of like blockbuster deals done. Would love to see the Cowboys, but I have
You guys
a
are
feeling
not
that's not going to be happening.
buyers.
No, we're not buyers. No,
And
we're
I at least
not.
have like more of a collective hope this year than the last couple of years that prices aren't going to be stupid high. Because I think that was
Right.
kind of what has been limited the last like 3 or 4 years of the trade deadline. Have kind of just been quiet because it's just like I think they were saying last year when the Eagles were trying to get like a third wide receiver or something that a lot of them were just first and second round picks was all anybody wanted, and they're just like, yeah, no, we're okay. So
Yeah, but NFL trade deadlines coming up soon. Who will be buyers, who will be sellers? Always a crazy time. The not sports related, since Halloween can be brought up in July and earlier, I'm going to bring up Thanksgiving. DiGiorno is bringing out a Thanksgiving pizza. It's a Detroit style pizza with turkey, green beans, onions, cranberries, and gravy. Would you guys eat a Thanksgiving pizza?
I'm not buying that.
I would eat it.
Yeah,
I'm not buying it.
like if I show up to Josh's house and like we're watching football and he's like, "Hey, like I
Yep.
found this," like sure, I'm gonna eat it, but I'm not gonna.
I bought this for you, Papa.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know if I love this.
But
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
yeah, DiGiorno thinking outside of the box on that one. But Josh, your current events.
Again, just the continuation of a collective baseball cry for the city of Ohio, for the state of Ohio. I guess
Damn
Northern
Empire.
Ohio, not Cincinnati, Kentucky. But yeah, it was a fun season. It seems like the Guardians bats just kind of got cold. It's like just you got to hit home runs in the postseason. That's all it is. And yeah, the big guys that you needed. I mean, Naylor had a pretty big goose egg for the whole series or all of the postseason. I'm pretty sure. I think Jose only hit the like one or two maybe. So yeah, not very fun to lose to the Yankees like continuously, but it is what it is. And I will definitely be scooting my way over to the Dodgers trade here, just quietly, just sneaking my way, matching the blue, keeping the blue on, we'll be riding.
Absolutely. Jake, current events.
Well, Josh, I will tell you, we're happy to have you on the Dodger train at any given moment, my friend. But I was looking through some current events, if you will, and the main non-sports news I just wanted to bring up here, if you will. Saw this all over social media this week. Former Olympian from Canada, Ryan James, from the 2002 Winter Olympics, he's a snowboarder, is wanted for drug trafficking and murder. And apparently he is wanted as an international drug kingpin, involved in traffic or accused of trafficking 60 tons of, let's call it booger sugar, instead of using some terms, and ordering the unalivings of some other people. So again, that was some pretty jarring news. Not that I remember Ryan James from the 2002 Winter Olympics, but just anytime that
How do you not remember him, Jake? Come on.
I know. That's on me. Hand up. But you know what was really funny is I was really trying to look up like some sort of clip on YouTube of like the 2002 Winter Olympics. I can't find him in one clip of just one. I'm trying to find one snowboard jump to be like, yeah, at least that jump was cool. No, there's nothing to say this guy. Somebody find him, please.
Was this
I think
guy
that's like an
involved
NFC
in a was this guy involved in a certain trade for a certain WNBA player at all at any point?
I don't think that he was involved in any extraditing. I will tell you that.
Find him first.
But if anybody does know, there apparently is a $50,000 reward for knowledge. So
That's it. Oh,
Check
for
your local
knowledge?
slopes.
Yeah.
hey, listen, man.
Dude, Justin Trudeau is lowballing us. Come on, up that number up.
I don't write the news. I just read it. All right, and on to my next one. The other one, I found this really kind of fun, at least for Arizona fans this week, just because frankly we have nothing to smile
We
about.
need fun.
Yeah. So Justin Flo is the fourth most followed college football player in the country right now. And it's not a shock to me at all, but the three players that are in front of him in order are Shadur Sanders with almost 2 million Instagram followers, Travis Hunter with 1.4 million Instagram followers, and Shiloh Sanders with just under a million. But Justin Flo holding in the competition. And I think it's got to do something with the fact that he's either completely jacked, he's actually a really funny dude, or like he's probably on, that TikTok grind in some sort of way. But Justin Flo, like, kudos, brother.
Certainly not because of his football skills.
Yeah, that's a whole different. That's a whole
Sorry,
different
Justin.
Story. That's a whole different story.
We're not protecting you if that man comes after you.
Yeah,
I'm cooked. I'm cooked.
Yeah, no, you're getting killed on that one.
Do you think we 4v1 Flo? How do you think that would end up? I don't think we could.
4v1? I think we hold a chance. I mean, I played football, like not well, but I played.
Oh my God.
Anyways, last current event I want to talk about is obviously this Dodgers series and what's going on. I think that again tonight will be a big test. It will hopefully I'll be able to put the crown back on and be able to say that the Dodgers did end up winning in 6 tonight. I think this will be a big matchup. I think that if the Mets end up getting this one, man, I'm going to be fucking shaking in my boots for game 7. They have some weird demon grimace energy going on right now, and I don't know what to think of it, but I think that the Dodgers are either going to come into this game and it's going to be one of these games that we've seen in this series where we're going to win by 5 runs, and it's going to be
3 innings.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be one of those where I'll be betting on the bats getting hot early, or it's going to be a game where both teams show up and it's going to be a dogfight, and I think that maybe final score would be something like a 3-2. And frankly, that's what I thought that Cleveland game was going to be yesterday. Is I thought it was going to be a little bit more of just bats popping off. And again, until the Soto home run, it was a chalked out game the whole time.
I mean, prior to that, even that Giancarlo Stanton home run, where like you could see where Bo Naylor was setting up. He was setting up so far away, and that one just eked over the plate. And it was just like a head down moment immediately. You're just like, how are you? Yeah, I don't know how you don't intentionally walk him right there because got bases open.
100%.
Interesting with playoffs. It's going to be a tight. It's come down to wire series, absolutely. Matt, current events for the week.
So we had an emotional night here in Columbus Tuesday. It was a home opener for the Blue Jackets. They did a whole tribute to Johnny Gaudreau, who obviously was killed by a DUI driver the other month. And so the Blue Jackets lined up with 4 players, let 13 seconds come off the clock on the puck drop. Johnny's whole family was there, and yeah, very emotional home opener here. Moving on, guys, Jay Cutler had another failed drive. Jay Cutler was booked with DUI and gun possession in Tennessee. Apparently, he rear-ended a car earlier in the day and then offered the driver $2K to let him go and not tell the cops. Well, that didn't go well for Jay.
Only guy lowballing,
but he got
Justin
booked. He got booked into the jail there. His mugshot kind of became a meme.
Dude, he looks like
Twitter.
crap.
He looks like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a good week for Jay Cutler. I don't know if you guys, I think you guys probably saw this on Twitter. You guys saw that Ravens fan?
Yeah.
Winter walking. Yeah. So that Ravens fan, he was walking around DC and Baltimore, sorry. And he was just looking to pick fights with random Commanders fans. Dude, he was somewhat big guy. He walked up to these 2 Commanders fans minding their own business and just sucker punched both of them, and then turned back to the camera and he's like, "I never lose, baby." Well, I think he has lost. He has been fired from his corporate insurance job, and the Baltimore police have issued a warrant out for his arrest for felony assault. So, not not a good week for that guy, but
I hope
completely
nothing
deserves it.
Hope nothing good happens to Jack Callis for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I read stories all over Twitter, people who went to high school or college with this guy, and it just seems not good at all. So yeah, I'm glad
I just like how you're
he's
deep in on this guy's lore.
I know it was dude, the Twitter army came after him.
Cancel Jack Callis. Cancel him.
I mean, like, I've always just see that stuff, and I'm just like, why are you filming yourself committing crimes? It's literally like the dumbest thing you could do. And then I'm like, somebody will find you.
Yeah,
look at us coming in with some current events that like were loosely sports related. Like, we brought out our papers this week. It was good stuff.
Bro, those crime pods should be shaking in their boots. We're coming for you.
We're coming for you. And that'll wrap up current events for the week. We go into our bencher play. Who are we benching? Who are we playing? I'm going to play this week. I'm playing Kirk Cousins in his evolution in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins had a press conference in a hoodie and a beanie, looking absolutely swagged out. And he was quoting one of his former players, teammates, saying, when you walk into yo trap, you take over yo trap. Football. I think it's the greatest thing ever. This man is like a chameleon. I don't know. From
God bless Kirk Cousins.
Initial press conference being like obviously Mr. Cole's Cash himself in his nice suit, and then going into like a baggy hoodie.
You are right that he shifts into every environment that he's been in, man. I mean, again, when he needed to be tucked away in Minnesota and be, oh, hi, how are you? And then be loud and rambunctious in Washington, and obviously all the stuff he's doing now, that's a hell of a play. I like that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, like he was quoting Aristotle or something. I'd like to quote one of my former teammates: "Walk into your trap, take over your trap."
Here's a quote that I live by.
Atlanta strip clubs are not ready for Kirk Cousins. Primetime Kirk, baby.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Don't let the boy get hot.
Right. And Jake, bencher play this week.
All right. On my side, I will be doing my continuous play until it can't be a continuous play anymore. We haven't even seen a Saints game today, guys, and they are already on the downfall. They've lost 5 games since my take. Just got to continue to throw it out there. Thank you. All right, Steph Curry 3, walk away. The other one I will be benching this week, and I'm going to be benching the Mets pitching staff.
360 no scope to dead horse.
Hell yeah, baby. Woo! So I'll be benching the walks by the Mets pitching staff. It's something that I pointed out prior to the season or prior to this series starting. But you've got a $300 million roster, and everybody keeps talking about that. You've only invested $70 million of this into pitching, and I say only, right? But again, you're only putting around that. You're not putting the forefront of it to be a forward-facing pitching team.
Invest that into me.
Tell me about it. But in 12 postseason games, there's already been 57 walks from this team. The Mets were the third most in the MLB this regular season in walks allowed, only behind the White Sox and the Angels. So, like we talked about, like we knew, right? That's a gross stat. Like we knew
bad neighborhood.
So again, we knew that this team from a pitching standpoint was going to be really damn bad and that walks were going to be an issue. But in the games that we've had so far this series, in game 1, there were 7 walks by the Mets pitchers, 8 walks in game 2, 7 walks in game 3, 9 walks in game 4, 5 walks in game 5. That's just not sustainable. So
no, walk it down, now walk it down.
Now walk it down. But I think that going into game 6 here today, I think that there's going to be 2 predictions that I have. I'm going to say that Dodgers end up clearing it out. We're going to get there. And I'm going to say that there's going to be over 5 walks from the Mets pitching staff again. And I think it's because whoever goes out there tonight, they're going to be shaking in their boots. They're playing in LA. It's an environment where the Dodgers have command over it. So that's my bench, is I think that the Mets pitching staff show up, man. Like, this is the postseason. Like, giving away free bases in the regular season is already inexcusable. Doing it in the postseason when you're playing against arguably the hottest bats that we've seen in the last, I don't want to call it too far, but let's call it in the last 10 years. From a team perspective, you can't give them free bases.
Yeah, specifically against a guy who's hot when there are people on base
100%
in front of him.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, Shohei, I don't know. I have the exact stat in front of me, but I think it was 2 or 3 games ago. He had been it was 16 of 18 with runners in
Something,
scoring position
yeah.
or some absolutely diabolical video
And it was
game
like one
number,
for 21 without. So it's just like, holy cow.
Yeah, the guy knows how to show up. So, anyways, that'll be my bench is the Mets pitching staff. And, again, Dodgers, let's clear it out tonight, baby. Come on. Game 6. Let's go to the show.
Another NL showdown between the Dodgers and Mets. So let's see how that plays out for Jake and his sanity. We go into Josh, your bencher play this week.
My play, continuing with the positives with Arizona, since there's not much, will continue to be elite combos of aesthetics, sports aesthetics. We just did some rankings, but we have those Colorado helmets. They were matte black, gold on the logo, looked absolutely awesome, combined with an Arizona white helmet that has a logo that particularly is on our basketball court. Matt, I saw it on your sweatshirt over there, but it's an elite logo, and it was a great helmet combination. The game looked awesome aesthetically. Just the football on the field was a bit lackluster.
Ain't that the truth?
At least we look good losing.
Yeah,
true.
That's right. Yeah,
Dude, that's like me. That's like me in the golf course. I look very good in my Lulus and Travis Matthew polos, and then I shoot a 120.
Matt. Your bencher play. Is that I'm gonna bench Matt actually? Bent match in his golf take there. Matt, your bencher play this week.
All right. I don't know if you guys share. Well, first off, my play. I think Georgia is back on top after last night. Look, I don't know if you guys share the same sentiment, but just kind of looking around college football, especially at the QB position, I think there's a lot of good QBs, but they all have their flaws. So I'm looking at kind of the other aspects of the team. And when you look at Georgia, I think, they're just so solid. Even with that one choke that they had against Bama, I just think all around they're the most complete team at this point in the season. Oregon's giving me some cause. Yes. So Oregon, I would maybe do 1A, 1B, Georgia, Oregon. But like this year in football, it seems like every team has some sort of flaw, whether it's the QB position, the defense, something. I think this college football playoff is going to be a crapshoot. Like, I just think whatever 12 teams you put in there, anything can happen. But right now, I have Georgia at top, Oregon really, really close on their heels.
Army at 3.
All right, my bench. Jake, I apologize. I really don't want to see a Yankees-Dodgers World Series. I wanted one of these small market teams to make it, whether it had been Cleveland or the Mets. And I felt like this is just
small market. What are you talking about?
Oh, shut up! You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Sure,
you know what I
okay,
mean.
Sure.
You know what
Those
I mean.
lovable
Shut
underdog
up.
Mets with their $300 million payroll.
You know what I mean. This is what the TV ratings wanted. This is what Fox wanted. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be Yankees Dodgers.
This is what baseball deserves. Hold on. I'm going to jump the hell in here. This is fucking ridiculous. Dodgers Yankees World Series hasn't happened in years, and it hasn't happened in our lifetimes. It's barely happened, I think, in our parents' lifetimes. So when it comes to baseball needing the lore of it, hell yeah. When it talks about small market, dude, the Mets, what the fuck? Like, they have a $300
You know what I mean?
Month.
You know what I mean?
Count out the Mets.
I didn't want Yankees Dodgers.
The Mets. This is bullshit. No, okay. Listen,
There's more time about Cleveland. Yeah, I wanted Cleveland.
I was rooting for Cleveland too, and I will tell you that I think that when it comes to the Dodgers versus Yankees, or what would have been potentially Dodgers Guardians, I was nervous to play both of those teams. Like, I think that when you look on paper, sure, I'm probably more scared to play the Yankees because, again, near $300 million roster, but at the same time, like, Cleveland's got fucking talent.
Cleveland voodoo.
Yeah, Cleveland's got the stuff. So again, I'm hoping that you immediately alluded to Yankees Dodgers World Series. We still got to win a game. So again, I'm putting flag in the ground. Mm-hmm. Game 6, end it tonight.
Where is tonight? Where is it in LA?
It's in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're doing that new thing where it's like 2, like the top seed gets 2 at home, and then there's 3 on the way, and then 2 back at home instead of it.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like. It's kind of cool.
I love it.
Yeah,
I like it too. Limits to travel.
Yeah,
it's probably better on the players.
If I had it my way, the Dodgers win while cheating the Yankees out of a World Series again, like they did in against the Red Sox that 1 year.
Jack Flaherty show out.
Please.
That'll we shall see. But that'll wrap up Bench or Play. We go on to worst or best tweet, what we saw the best or worst on the internet. I'll start us out. My best one I saw on Instagram was from Max Preps and these two high schoolers in an absolute freaking blowout, like 55-12, watching SpongeBob in the tent on the sidelines. Imagine getting absolutely destroyed, and then you see a clip of the opposing team watching SpongeBob having a great time and getting your face kicked. I thought that was great.
Awful.
Absolute disrespect. But probably a good SpongeBob episode. My next one is Tom Brady officially beating a 5% team owner in the Las Vegas Raiders and him getting photoshopped with an Al Davis haircut.
Yeah, that was unreal. I saw that.
Yes. And that's all I had. Matt, where's your best tweet this week?
So I don't know if you guys saw the that scene in the Georgia-Texas game where they pan to Arch Manning on the bench. And it's just him and Quinn Ewers having the 1,000-yard Vietnam stare of just being in complete shock. And Arch Manning, he pulled out the classic Manning face in that game. You know he's a true nephew of Peyton and Eli. That was a great photo. Fully encapsulated just what it means to be a Manning.
That was great.
Eagles play the Giants today, so I'm soaking in all the beautiful memories of them playing.
Right, the Eli, the patent. I can't even do it.
Literally just the
Eli face.
Just
pretty good one.
Kind of looks like Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always come back.
Timmy!
Josh, worst or best tweet?
My worst or best tweet is a Reddit CFB post that is a Vandy person saying Texas was so focused on preparing for the Vandy game next week, they forgot they had to beat Georgia first. And a Notre Dame person saying you're absolutely right, the classic look ahead trap game. And yeah, I'm just putting it here just kind of as a PSA. You know, there's a whole lot of trap games that are going to be coming up as we're entering the heat of interconference play. So yeah, you know, stay 1 week ahead. One step, one punch. Let's rocky these moves.
Keep your
we should have a new segment called Reddit comments and just look at some of the funny comments on our college football or the sports
through the lore.
Yeah. That's a gold Twitter account. They always have funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Jake, where's your best tweet this week?
All right. I found a best tweet, baseball related. Jay Kuda coming in hot again. I'll have Drew. Damn it. I do that every time. Throw up the graphic right here. But it shows 769 career home runs from Barry Bonds, Nicky Lopez, and Craig Kimbrell being at 769. And then Aaron Judge, Jose Altuve, and Shohei Ohtani also hitting 769 career home runs. So it just goes to show you that when you look at the stats here, sometimes there's just guys that are just built different. But we're looking at three guys between Judge, Altuve, and Shohei that are really they've been, you know, backbone of the league now for a long time. So good to see that. Anybody want to take a guess on how many career home runs Craig Kimbrell has?
Oh, I thought more like the amount he's given up.
No, it's 0. No, he's never hit a home run, and he's probably given up a lot of home runs. I'm not gonna lie, but
that's what I thought. Cologne would never.
Exactly.
It could have been Class A.
Go. Do you guys remember when Cologne hit that home run?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
Scenes. Yeah.
His helmet didn't stay on then either. It was great. But the other great tweet that I saw was in the Tennessee game, one of the College Game Day sides. It was from a Tennessee fan saying, "Mama says roll tide because y'all can't spell elephant." And I was like, that's kind of like, shit, that's kind of good. But at the same time, these SEC schools can't really talk a lot of shit because there's only really one that's like top notch when it comes to academics, and it's Vanderbilt. So, you know,
hey, Vanderbilt and Florida are very good.
Well, yeah. But like Vanderbilt's the only one that can like put on the glasses.
Yeah,
and be like,
elite.
We're the academics
yes.
here. You know what I mean? So like everybody just kind of stick to their lane. You know, like play the football side of it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that'll wrap up worst or best tweet, and we get into top 5. Our top 5 bleacher rankings, top 5 breakfast foods to wake up in the morning with on a weekend. Jake won the first overall pick in today's draft. It'll go Jake, Matt, Josh, myself, Drew, and then we'll snake back. Jake, your first overall pick for weekend breakfast foods.
Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to start us off hot. My first take is going to be hash browns. Potatoes in the morning, whether you're waking up hungover, whether you're waking up and you're just feeling like you need a little bit of potato action. Sometimes I like the patty. Sometimes I like the shredded. Hash browns as my 101.
Great pick. Matt, your second overall pick, or first overall pick, rather.
My first overall pick, the CMC of breakfast foods, give me bacon.
There you go.
Yep.
I knew what I was doing there.
That'll lead us next to Josh. First pick.
I'll be taking a bit of a bougier pick here. I'm just going to do biscuits and gravy.
Nice.
Perfect for waking up hungover and just shoveling into your gullet.
Not too shabby, not too shabby. Well, I'm going to go with my first overall pick, eggs. Give me eggs. Don't have to specify eggs. What do you guys think?
I feel like you should have to specify what type of
eggs.
Like,
yeah,
you can't
No,
just have,
screw
like,
it. It's my show. I'm taking all the eggs. Let's see. Give me eggs over easy. Eggs over easy as my first overall
Interesting.
pick.
Interesting.
I like that.
Over easy.
But
And
it's like
then,
it's good dipability, you know. He's got some sauce there.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my second overall pick, give me waffles. Waffles for my second pick.
You son of a.
We're making waffles.
And that'll go to Josh. with the
I mean,
second
I
pick.
guess I'll take a second-rate waffle and a pancake. Less crisp, less groovy textures to fill in, full of deliciousness. I'm a little upset.
Pancakes are off the board. Matt, your second overall pick.
I'm going cinnamon rolls, baby. Love me some cinnamon rolls.
Oh, damn. Bacon and cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, that's a
That's a list
I'm
right there.
stacked right now.
that's decent. Hey, only 2 picks in, and I'm about to go for the double right here. So, put me down. My top one that I think is still left on the board. I'm gonna go with sausage. Just a good old breakfast sausage. I don't know if that's on anybody's boards, but for me, if bacon's off the board, I want some sausage there. So, putting that on the list right now.
I had Jake's sausage in my draft watch list. So
okay, that was on your. You got the little ESPN
Yes.
do little sound that your pick got taken.
I had it
cool.
queued up, but
That was sausage watching.
I heard, yeah, that's what I heard.
that was a joke. That was a joke.
Well, with my third pick, I'm gonna go with, since Drew went with eggs over easy, I'm gonna go with eggs Benedict. I'm gonna go with a little bit of the bougie vibe.
Okay, not too bad.
Put your pinky down, weirdo.
And Jake, wrap around to start us off in the third round.
I got sausage and eggs
Wait, how
Benedict.
did
Yeah.
Okay. Sausage. Excellent. And that'll put us back to Matt, your third overall pick.
my third overall? Let me think about this. Pressure's on. I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go classic oatmeal here.
Oh,
some-
sold himself.
So
Sold.
responsible.
No.
The safe pick might hurt him in the later rounds. Who knows?
Wow, that's crazy. That's like
It's like
starting
Terry
your team off.
McLaurin. You know, it gets a job done. It's nothing special, but
No,
you get
that's
points.
you just win in fantasy football, drafting like Tyreek Hill as your first overall pick to then going like offensive lineman right there. That was crazy.
Drafted a kicker.
Matt needs some fiber after downing some bacon and some heavy cinnamon rolls in the morning, so I can respect it. Josh, third overall pick. What do we have?
I will be taking the first drink. I'll be taking orange juice.
Ooh, very good pick.
I thought that was gonna fall. I'm not gonna lie. I thought people.
I like
were
to
gonna have
picture
that
my
off the
orange
board.
juice. I like my picture my orange juice as like a ball hawking safety.
Right.
Okay. I never know when that orange juice is gonna hit out of nowhere.
Hey Josh, this the juice is loose.
I want extra pulp.
Hell yeah.
There you go. That'll bring me to my pick. You guys probably didn't think this, but give me steak.
Oh.
Give me steak. You can have it with eggs, like I do have, and I also have my waffles. So give me steak with my third pick, and that'll wrap around to me with the fourth. And I'm gonna go a little healthy. maybe some of these kids that follow our account are like, oh, it's a crappy pick. Well, when you get older, you'll find out. Give me the yogurt parfait. Absolutely. It has a little bit of everything, yogurt, fruit, and a little bit of granola, add some crunch, but I won't let, if you guys want to pick those other separate picks, that's fine. I'm just taking yogurt parfait.
So we're wrapping back around to me, and I will be taking a grain. I'll be taking a bagel.
Very good pick.
This is a heavy appreciation club for bagels here in this chat right now.
You can go,
dude. The Southwest bagel from Burgers carried me in college.
Oh yeah.
And that'll bring us to Matt, Mr. Brugers himself, fourth overall pick.
Guys, I feel like this gets slept on still. Give me cold pizza.
Oh my God, you're going so out of the box. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I love sometimes cold. Yeah, if it's leftover. No, don't give me that look, Jake. Do not give me that look. You know we've
Jake,
all
do you not
done
eat pizza for breakfast?
No, guys.
I don't like cold pizza.
I'm there.
But I'll eat pizza for breakfast.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I love cold. Well, dude, crazy. So first take on ESPN used to be called cold pizza.
Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
And listen, I've done cold pizza in the morning. I can't say that would have been my fourth overall pick for all breakfast foods of all time, but hey, live, laugh, love, baby. We love it.
Well, hey, let's hear it. What's your fourth pick overall?
All right. I don't know how either one of these just fell into my lap. I will be taking another win in our ranking segment for my 4 and for my 5. Give me donuts, and then I will take coffee. Yeah. And I will hit my 3, and I will slink off into the
get over yourself. That's okay. That's a good pick, but let's not get too carried away.
I don't know about that, brother.
All right, and that'll lead us to Matt. What will he do? Is he going to go with the drink route? Is he going to go with another food option? What do we think, Matt?
Guys, I'm going to go with a fruit smoothie. Throw in some milk, some yogurt, some bananas, strawberries, orange slice, whatever. Give me a fruit smoothie.
I like it.
I like that. I can dig it.
It's like a swing tackle.
Love the comparisons, the breakfast foods.
Oh, it's so good.
NFL positions, football positions. And that'll lead us to the position man himself, Josh Taylor, with the last pick in his draft.
With the last pick, I will be doing a fiery little wild card and taking Huevos Rancheros.
Oh, yes.
And again, I will akin that to a linebacker with his hair on fire.
I was going to say that.
See, he's only going to go downhill. He can only go downhill. You want him to cover something? It's not going to happen.
Yeah. What would your NFL linebacker comparison be for Huevos Rancheros if you can come up with one?
Luke Kuechly.
I see. Initially, I thought Kuechly because he covers everything, but if it's more of just like a downhill type guy,
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably
Ray
like
Lewis.
I would say like an Alex Singleton if that's like not too deep of a cut because he's always leading in tackle, but if you ask that guy to cover anything, it's just like that's how you're going to lose games.
I love it.
Not too shabby, not too shabby. And that'll bring us to me, my last pick overall in the draft, who will be Mr. Irrelevant for today. I have like 2 choices. I want to, you know what? Give me a chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. To end out.
Dude, your stomach is going to be in knots, brother. I love it.
I think the only thing we got to do at some point is we definitely got to draft cereals, but like, because I think that's the only thing we really left off here. But
yeah,
that's a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
We should also draft foods after coming home from the bars.
Ooh. Is cold pizza going to also make your list?
Cold pizza.
Wait, hold on. This combines Matt's best of both worlds because if he comes home early in the morning for breakfast after the bars, he can have cold pizza. There we go. Okay, that's there.
Cold pizza is like
it's
like listen to this. Cold pizza is the Taysom Hill of foods because you can put them in all these different positions. I don't hate
that. That is actually a great comparison because there's some days where I hate Taysom Hill, and then there's other days where he's going to run for 30 yards, 3
He's
touchdowns.
Your daddy.
He's going to throw a touchdown pass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and my hottest take is I don't even like cold pizza, and similar to Taysom Hill, I don't see the point in having him.
And I'm going to quickly go through the draft.
Drew, you got to clip that.
Okay, I'll make sure to clip that. But I'm gonna go through the rundown real quick. Jake's draft: hash browns, eggs Benny, sausage, donuts, coffee.
Mhm.
Matt: bacon, cinnamon rolls, oatmeal, cold pizza, fruit smoothie. Josh: biscuits and gravy, pancakes, orange juice, bagels, and huevos rancheros. And then yours truly here: eggs over easy, waffle, steak, yogurt parfait, chocolate milk.
All right, we showed up. We showed
Yeah.
up.
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. I think we did solid, but that'll wrap up the top five and that'll wrap up the show. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Please comment. I like to engage with all the commenters who, whether nice or good or mean comments. I'll take them any way I can get them. Subscribe to the show, follow Spotify, TikTok, go to our Twitter. And that'll do it for this episode of Bros in the Bleachers podcast.
Later, bro.
Hail and raise hail, baby.